Okay, y'all, so let's talk about this. You've seen the thumbnail. Yes, the truth hurts. The truth hurts so bad that people are literally making up lies. Like, Claressa Shields is banned from boxing. Oh, Claressa Shields has been suspended. Oh, Claressa Shields cheated. Oh, did you notice her gloves? I mean, people are just saying the most outlandish nonsense. Sadly, that it's a whole lot of idiotic black people leading the charge. They got a bunch of Tatums out here. Got a bunch of Tatums out here. So check this out, y'all. I don't care about anybody's debate. I don't personally care who you like and don't like. I'm focused on the reality. Now, do I think that the skill levels between Claressa Shields and every other female fighter is like a wide margin? Absolutely, and I've made that known. She makes it known by going in the ring and delivering. Well, here's the funny thing. People try to move the goalpost to defend more wins versus wins in more weight classes, depending on who they like in that scenario. You know, who won more titles and more weight classes as to more wins overall. Who had more title reigns, but this one got more wins. It's like, for example, when people say, oh, well, what's her name? Layla Ali, she has more wins than Claressa. Okay. So there's now all of a sudden, it's like Claressa's trying to play catch up to Layla and the amount of wins. No. Regardless to the fact that they're from two different eras, and Layla was at the beginning, you know, the early stages of female boxing, but when it was still developing and the girls really wasn't that good yet. And to this day, right now, you still don't have a whole lot of them that's good. But we're going to use Layla's 20-0 record or whatever. But we're going to overlook that there's no comparison in the amount of accomplishments between Layla and Claressa. Now, what matters is when you get in the ring and fight. And y'all know that's where I come from. I don't think Layla is as good as Claressa either. I made that clear. I didn't want, you see what happened between Claressa and Layla. I know why people like putting black people against each other. And here's two people not even from the same era. Same thing with Sugar Ray and with Floyd Mayweather, or Roy Jones and Floyd Mayweather, or whoever. Shakur Stevenson talking trash about Marvin Hagler and Ray Robinson running his mouth. But you don't see not people of color. You don't see white people or nobody else debating, making a bunch of videos talking about who was better between Rocky Marciano and Tommy Morrison. You don't see people getting together making a bunch of videos who was better, Gennady Golovkin or Rocky Graziano. Or no, you don't see that. You don't even see people making comparisons between Asian fighters. You don't hear people going, who's better, Inoue or Pacquiao? Inoue or Pacquiao or Nito Donaire? No, it's always amongst black people. That's divide and conquer. That's compare and just completely try to destroy. And we're not even talking about, there's nothing like, what do you gain from doing it? But they always just talk and they're not looking at facts at all. Just talking. So let's look at these four people. Now, we're going to start with Alycia Baumgardner because she has the least accomplishments out of all four women. And we're talking about Alycia, Katie, Amanda, and Claressa. Now, Alycia Baumgardner, she's won 6 world titles overall. 6. Okay, 6. Alycia Baumgardner has won these titles in one weight class. Okay, and one time undisputed, she has one loss on her record. Katie Taylor has won 10 world titles. Let's go. All right, Katie has won 10 world titles overall, and she did it in 2 weight classes. 2 times undisputed with 1 loss. All right, Amanda Serrano has won 9 world titles overall and has done it in 7 different weight classes. 1 time undisputed with 4 losses. Claressa Shields, who's undefeated and the only undefeated woman on this list, has held 21 world championships and has done it in 5 weight classes. The one that has the most mouth on this whole list is Alicia, and she had the least accomplishments out of everybody on this list. It's not even comparable. Now when it comes to Katie and Alicia, well, Katie has won 4 more championships than Alicia. Amanda has won 3 more championships than Alicia. Okay? We can sit here and look at the statistics all day. But let's look at it, right? And Katie has 1 more championship reign than Amanda with 10, and Amanda having 9. So when you look at Amanda has done it in 6 more weight classes than Alicia, right? Katie's done it in 1 more, right? Claressa has done it in 4 more. Once again, let me say, I believe Alicia Baumgardner could beat Amanda Serrano. And even in the past, looking at the skill level, I just always felt like, because it was a time when Alicia showed like she got tired. And when she gets tired, she gets tired. I felt like either Alicia, if she doesn't have the conditioning she needs, that more than likely, unless she knocks Amanda out, Amanda could take her into deep waters and wind up stopping her. Because once Alicia gets tired, she completely empties her tank. It's like she has nothing. And you would expect, if that was to happen, that Amanda would take advantage. But I always felt like that's the only advantage that Amanda had over her, was the fact that Alicia at one point was showing a very weak gas tank. But I always felt like Alicia would beat Amanda in the fight. Katie Taylor, once again, Katie with legs, she beats Alicia Baumgardner. Because Alicia Baumgardner, she's not good at cutting off the ring and being the aggressor. Alicia doesn't know how to mix up being the aggressor and counterpunching. What Alicia Baumgardner is, people keep calling her a boxer puncher. No, she's more of a pure boxer that can punch. Look at her style. She's reluctant to mix it up with anybody. A boxer puncher will mix it up with you. A boxer puncher will get in there and force the action when they need to. That's why they're separate from a pure boxer. Because a pure boxer depends on all of their senses, all their skills. Whereas a boxer puncher know that they can punch. So a lot of times where they could box and outclass you, like Mildred Taylor, but instead they'll go in there and they'll bang. A lot of times when they don't need to. So Alicia Baumgardner is a boxer. She's a pure boxer that can punch. Anthony Joshua is a boxer puncher that was trying to be a pure boxer, and it doesn't work for him. All right? He doesn't embrace what he is. That's why he has issues, and that's why he's always mentally doubting himself. Now, case in point, I don't think that, like I said, she beats her. I don't think Alicia, but I think Alicia beats Amanda. She got the gas tank. She beats Amanda. Amanda, like I said, she's there to be hit. She walks in the straight line. She keeps her head on the center line. She has no footwork whatsoever. And she's looking to knock you out. You understand what I mean? She's looking to knock you out. She's shown she will abandon being smart to just try to get a knockout. Yes, she will. That's why her face is so beat up. I'm just being real with you. Okay? I believe Alicia Baumgardner beats Amanda Serrano. She got the gas tank. She beats Amanda. Katie with legs. I go with Katie. I just think it's too much. I'll tell you all the time. Just too much. The movement, the footwork, the hand speed, the foot speed. And for Alicia to have to time her, and for Alicia, they only have 2 minutes around. And Alicia, you got to understand this too. When Alicia starts to mix, like try to throw punches, she'll throw like one hard shot at a time, right? And then she'll like slide, neck, move, but she doesn't get in there. You know, Ann Wolf did it a lot. People looked at her power because Ann Wolf could punch. But if you look at Ann Wolf tried to not mix it up with you. She got that one loss on her record where she was a different fighter after that. And you look at Ann Wolf, she tries to box. And when you start letting your hands go, Ann starts to move and try to become defensive. So what's all that power, right, if you can't get the shot there? And this is why I said when I watch Ann Wolf, and I always said between her and Layla, I think Layla picks Ann Wolf apart. I don't think it's a super fight. I think people think it's a super fight. I don't think it's a super fight. I think Layla picks her apart and ultimately gets the win. And probably even stops Ann Wolf. Not that Ann Wolf was a pushover, but Ann Wolf was inconsistent. Now, people can sit here and praise. And like I said, the majority, everything, when you talk about Ann Wolf, people, I guarantee you, without Googling that shit, most people don't even know how many times she's been champion, how many losses on her. I guarantee they don't know nothing about that. All they talk about is how she knocked out that tall white chick with no defense. That's all they talk about. I like Ann Wolf as a fighter. But when you compare her and Layla, I always said Layla wins. It's not even I got to think about it. Layla wins. All right. Now, when it comes to comparing any of these women to Claressa, everybody sounds stupid. If you swapped records, if you swapped accomplishments with Claressa and any one woman on this list, there will be no doubt in anybody's mind that that woman is the best women's boxer of all time. Not just now, but of all time. The majority of people wouldn't want to give it, if it was Baumgartner, they wouldn't want to give it to Baumgartner, just simply because she's a black woman. Let's just be real. They would try so hard to find somebody else. But anybody but Claressa. That's the mindset. Anybody but Claressa. Now, that being said, right, this woman has won, this woman has won 12 more titles. That's Claressa. 12 more titles than Amanda. Okay? 11 more than Katie. Are we serious? Are we serious? All right, are we really serious? And she's won 15 more titles than Alicia Baumgartner. Okay? And in more weight classes. But again, depending on what the narrative is that people are trying to spin, they try to take something away like it doesn't matter. Oh, that doesn't count. No, crap. You know, like the whole LeBron ring culture nonsense claim. Mr. I'm going to take advantage of a load management. Right. And you know what? If any one of these women on this list had Claressa's record, with the only exception is if she had any one of their records but without the losses, because she's undefeated. That's why I say that. But the skill test, the eye test, man, this shit is not comparable. If Katie Taylor was the same size as Shields would beat the shit out of her the same way she do everybody else. If Amanda, Alicia, if they was the same size, if they was bigger than her, she would beat the shit out of them. Just like she does everybody else. You know, when Pernell Whitaker fought Chavez, I can remember so many people saying, he ain't gonna be able to play with Chavez like that. No, Chavez, nah, that motherfucker. They was talking about Chavez like he was indestructible. Pernell went there and he played with Chavez the same way he did with everybody else. The skill different, and they robbed Pernell and called that fight a draw. We all know Pernell won that fight, but it is what it is, right? I mean, come on. We're not even talking about tit for tat. Chavez was stealing rounds. Pernell was outboxing him all night long, man. All night long. Let's just be real. Okay. Bottom line, though, is he did everything people said he couldn't do in that fight. Everybody want to tell you who can do what and who can't. But when the fight happens, everybody's, I don't know what happened. How did he do it? I keep telling you guys, man. It's not about who you like and who you don't like. I don't know these people personally. So, no, I don't dislike Katie Taylor or Amanda Serrano or Bob Gardner. I don't dislike them. I don't like the bullshit that people talk, the lies that people tell. I don't like when people don't realize when they're being used, especially when they're being used as a token and they don't get it. And they jump on things, let me make this clear. You see how people are blasting Stephen A? Because like they said, even for people that may do things certain ways, and let's say even if I don't like the way that person does things, we're not talking about some shiesty, lying, just like straight up a scumbag of a human being, okay? Somebody with bad intentions and motives. We're not talking about somebody like that's just bad for humanity, bad for the community, bad for society. We're not talking about that. We're talking about when these racist people run their mouth and say things about black people in a racist way. And we know where it's coming from. And Stephen A. would jump on that bandwagon and support those claims. Donald Trump called Stephen A. Smith uneducated. He called him ignorant, called him stupid, called him a bunch of names. This motherfucker had nothing to say. He didn't retaliate. He sat there and had nothing to say. But he talks down on black women. He talks at black women. He talks to them like they're not qualified to talk to him. Like his level of understanding is far above their heads. That's what he does. So he talks about Jasmine Crockett. Well, if somebody refers to her as Shanae, what was Shanae's character on Martin? Loud, big mouth, ghetto, right? Always starting trouble. Okay, so what do you think this was about? And he jumps on and co-signs. But you don't see him go after nobody that doesn't have black skin. Only thing he does when it comes to basketball, he'll argue with basketball players because he sits and glazes the hell out of men. Always wanting to prove superiority and fighting for these men. Look a little shaky, Stephen A. But this is what I'm saying. It's just like when somebody when we talk about Deontay Wilder, I tell people, I don't know Deontay Wilder. But he lies a lot. Not because I think he's lying, but because he says one thing, and I can show you receipts that he says something completely different, and he'll deny something. People in his corner, like his so-called friends, not even, when I say his corner, I'm not even talking about the Malik Scotts. Notice, Malik Scott, none of them never got, Shelly Finkel, none of them ever got involved in this whole glove scandal, the poison water. They never got involved in none of that. But every time he loses, it was an excuse. And the people talking for him make excuses. He says something and allow you to say, Champ never said that. Champ never said that. No, that's a lie. People misconstrue. Yet he know the whole time he said it. But he don't say, no, I did say that. And all he does is make claims. So, whoa. Remember, he said, he can't wait. He said, if he's lying, then why don't Fury sue him? Remember, he said, the documentary that's coming out. Now, all this documentary and all this stuff, every time the doctor was supposed to come out and speak about him having a dent in his head because Fury used an egg weight. All of these claims that Wilder fans purposely overlook. I'm saying, bro, I'm giving you the boxing news. Am I supposed to play dumb like y'all and sit back and act like I don't know what this man said? Or, well, I'm pretty sure he got a good reason to lie to us because pretty much that's what he's doing. Then you don't hear nothing of, like, all this talk about black people standing for. Why is he so quiet right now, for example? Right now is one of the most racist times that I've witnessed since I've been alive. Where's Wilder? Where's any of these people? But you understand what I'm saying? But now when you have a fight coming up, now all of a sudden, to this day, now you care so much about black people. Listen to what I say and look at his actions and tell me when the fuck I'm lying. This is what I'm talking about. So no, I don't like the way he moves. But I've had people come on my channel saying shit about him, and I'm realizing who they are. And I'm like, nah, first off, watch your mouth. I'm not, like, I don't hate Wilder. I don't look at him like, he's, no, I don't like I don't like how he moves. And no, I don't trust what he says. I don't know him personally. But you see the point, what I'm saying is, these people were coming out their faces talking about Fury and all this Egyptian shit and him being a gypsy and all that, and just praising his lifestyle. And I'm like, yeah, okay, so you coming from a space of hate because it's a black guy. You understand what I'm saying? You can't possibly tell me you don't like Claressa because she talk a lot. You ain't like Floyd because he talk a lot, but you love Fury. Who talks more shit than Fury? And Fury is a great big liar. I said him and Wilder might fuck around and find out that they are fucking related. Because they do the same identical type shit. With the exception that Fury was undefeated up into Usyk. But you understand what I'm saying? The lies that they tell. And so what the fuck are you defending when the proof is right here? But my point is, I'm not saying what I'm saying from a space of hate for Wilder. I'm saying I'm calling bullshit. Because if I sit here and tell you, today is Thursday. If I sat here and said to you, all right, today is Thursday, right? It's about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, right? And it's raining outside. I don't know if y'all can hear it. It's raining outside. And whatever the hell today's date is. And then I'm just going to chill in the house. I'm going to I'm going to work out in my house, chill in the house, shower, eat, kick back, and watch some One Fighting Championships. And that's how my night going to go. Now, let's say the following morning, I get up and I make a video and I reiterate all of that. But let's say the following week, I tell you, last Thursday, right, I went to Jamaica. And go back to a Kingston, man, I'm nice it up, you know. Yeah, I'm telling you all this shit. You don't have the mindset that, Aries, you mean you went Friday or Saturday, right? Because you said Thursday that you was, because we make mistakes, right? But I'm telling you, nah, it was Thursday. I'm positive. You can pull up my video, Aries, but you said Thursday you was going to chill. And then, so when did you have time to go to Jamaica and do all that? You understand what I'm saying to you? It's common sense. So unless I made a mistake in what I'm saying, now I'm not going to make a mistake every time I talk, every time I say something. Now, y'all know, you've been watching, and I tell y'all, I used to get these two names mixed up. Gerald McClellan and what's the dude name? I forget. But anyway, it's two names I used to always get mixed up. Sometimes I might screw a name up. I'm picturing the person in my head, but I'm saying the wrong name. Milton McCrory. I used to get Gerald McClellan and Milton McCrory. They named. I'm picturing Milton McCrory, but I'm saying Gerald McClellan. I'm saying Gerald McClellan, picturing him, but I'm saying Milton McCrory. That's mistakes. That's mistakes. And common sense, you know, like, okay, well, they didn't fight in the same era, so you can't be talking about, if I say Milton McCrory versus Donald Curry, if I said Gerald McClellan versus Donald Curry, then he meant Milton McCrory. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I can, you know what? Thank you for correcting me on that. I made a mistake. I've done that often. Okay? That's mistakes versus lies. But I'm saying people coming at this dude on some racist shit, and I'm not going to piggyback on that and nah. You understand what I'm saying? And this is the difference. And this is like what I said, when it comes to Shields and when it comes to Baumgartner, I don't care for the fight because, first off, it's never going to happen. I don't care for it because I know it's not going to happen. And the way that Alicia went about that was just wrong on every level. Now, as far as her wanting to fight Shields, it's a way to go about that. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, and when you fight your friends, things will happen. This is why I don't know the relationship right now between Franchon and Claressa, but when you get ready to go punch somebody in the face and they're going to punch you and y'all going to fight and y'all both talking shit, somebody's going to say something to strike a nerve. This is why you need to, like I tell people, if we're in the same weight class and we're friends, unless one of us is willing to sacrifice for the other, we're going to have to fight. And that's whether you opt out of a fight, go to another weight class, or whatever. Because, you understand what I'm saying? I'm not into this shit talking. I'm just going to beat your ass. And the truth of the matter is, sometimes you can put the type of ass on a person and embarrass them to where they don't see you the same because they feel some type of way. Like, even if they was going to lose, they wanted the fight to at least be closer. They might even felt like inside, you should have held back on me. Why you beat me up like that, man? Damn. Who knows? We seen Maurice Blocker and Simon Brown fight, and as far as I knew, they stayed friends throughout the time, or whatever. But it's what I'm saying. There's ways to do things. And their fight wasn't about shit talking. They went in and somebody had to win, somebody had to lose. And that's pretty much, but things happen, especially in this era of time where it's all people do is talk. And this is why I'm like, it's funny how y'all single out Shields. Y'all sound like y'all sound like some straight bitches to me. Y'all so worried about what this woman is saying to other people. But if you look at Claressa only respond to people for talking shit. I didn't see Michaela Mayer with her little sneak dishes and her little interviews. Alicia talks about Claressa, makes all these stupid claims, and then go out and fight a bum. So none of them are doing anything that Claressa can't do. And the fact that she has outshined them by far, do you realize even if she didn't win these other belts the other day, she still would have been at 19 belts? And it's still far more than everybody else on that list. And the most next to her is Katie with 10. Katie beat Amanda Serrano 3 times. Katie Taylor lost to Chantel Cameron. She avenged the loss, but she lost already. Amanda has 4 damn losses on her record. 4. Alicia, she got that 1 loss, and then she went and avenged it. Claressa's still undefeated. And case in point, there is no comparison with these people. Y'all can talk all the shit y'all want, but real shit, they're not even close to Claressa, man. And if I felt they was, I would say it. Like I said, when it came to Layla and Claressa before, I didn't really want to get into it because I'm looking at both women and I know what their approaches would be. And I really didn't want to get into it only because I know and I see the direction that black people go when it comes to the comparisons. We can't just respect both. It always has to be tear somebody down, compare them, and then just tear them down, and all of this over what? I don't need to get you to agree with me about my opinion. The facts are what they are. It's not even close on paper. It's not even close on paper. And basically, the reason why Amanda is able to do it in more weight classes is because she's so much smaller. And she's tall. So, like how Hearns and Diego Corrales, people that's really tall, they can go up into different weight classes. But they won't go up a certain way. Like, in other words, if you took 2 dudes, like look at Sebastian Fundora. Unless his body, like if it gets to the point where he just can't make the smaller weights, he won't do what Thomas Hearns did. Hearns went from 147 all the way up to goddamn cruiserweight. And you want to know why he won't? Because when you're naturally smaller, your power doesn't compare. Like you might hit hard for 154, 147, but now we talk about 168, 175, cruiser. Now all of a sudden, it's like, I'm hitting this guy, he won't go nowhere. Damn. Yeah, Hearns could hit people like with 4 shots at cruiserweight. I mean, he got some knockouts in the higher weights, but like they wasn't coming the same. And that one punch knockout power wasn't there. These guys are much bigger and stronger. They're used to getting hit by guards that hit harder than you. You understand what I'm saying? Alicia, 6 world championships in 1 weight class. Now, I'm not knocking any of their accomplishments. What I'm doing is all this comparing. Y'all need to understand what the numbers are. Because y'all are sounding stupid when y'all talk about accomplishments. Because none of them are close to Shields. And listen, Pacquiao did it in 8 weight classes, right? Still lost to Floyd. Still got knocked out by Marquez. So your point is what? If any one of those women were undefeated, because when Katie Taylor was undefeated, I guarantee, I remember this, right? I remember before Claressa Shields fought Savannah Marshall. Everybody was talking about how hard Savannah hits. They were talking about how Shields ain't never been hit by nobody that hit as hard as Savannah, and Actually, Savannah is really a better boxer. You see the way she roll up top and how she gets, and I'm sitting up here like, she's a better boxer than who? Claressa Shields? You don't think so? You think Shields gonna win? But you gotta say though, it's gonna be a close fight. I don't know what's gonna happen. I can only tell you what I think based on what they both do, and from what I've seen of both of them, I think Shields gonna beat the shit out of Savannah. I don't know what y'all see in Savannah that make y'all think that Savannah's so untouchable, but you know, she's fought who she's fought, and she's done what she's done. But versus Claressa is gonna be a whole different thing. They fought. What happened? Right? And after she beat Savannah Marshall, all of those people that was claiming defeat on Claressa, in that same comment section of the fight between Claressa and Savannah, you know what I saw a whole lot of? Well, for me, it's Katie Taylor. Oh, I know. Now that the great white hopeless has lost, let's throw her under the bus and pick another white woman. And that's pretty much what that was. That's all. Oh, now all of a sudden, for me, it's Katie Taylor. Right, a woman that's not even in her weight class. So what are we doing? We're finding someone that doesn't have black skin to try to say is better than Shields. And the thing is, when you look at Shields every fight, you see her add different stuff to her game. You don't see that with everybody else. You just see the same things. Katie is just going to try to be faster than you. Like Pacquiao. That's what Pacquiao does. He just tries to be faster than everybody. You know, he tries to time you, but that's his thing, just more volume. And those angles are the same thing. Because if you think about it, he throws punches from these, you know, people say weird angles or whatever. He's a southpaw, right? He does all this. And when he was doing that, even against Marquez, when Marquez knocked him out, and I put this on my dead mama, and I said this at other fights. I said, if Marquez, because okay, what Marquez is doing is he's anticipating Pacquiao, because Pacquiao's faint, he's jumping around. Marquez is jab, double jab, you know, jab straight to the body, right? And I'm watching him, right? And I'm just like, if Marquez would just use that lead hand to measure, like just leave it to where Pacquiao think he can sweep over with that sweeping hook. For him, keep your chin, but if he just step back slightly, and when Pacquiao do that, because you know Pacquiao and Roy Jones love to do this. You know how Roy Jones would throw that like he'll feint, and then he'll throw this straight and then duck and run away from you. Pacquiao don't exactly do it like Roy did it, but he would duck and he'll come in, right? Because what he'd do that shit, fake. Shane Mosley used to do this shit. Fake up top and then throw down to the body, right? But Pacquiao, what he would do is that little side step, he would go up top, he might throw a jab, but he'll go down. So when he rolls down, he'll either shoot that straight to the body and then try to come up top. And I said, if Marquez is watching his angles, like if he jumps to his left, step to your right, but keep that hand as a measuring stick for yourself. Because when he tries to come from them weird angles, all you're doing is pivot. You know what I'm saying? And I'm watching. But he did it with the uppercut. And I said, anytime somebody is doing this, that's custom for your uppercut. Because even if he tried to throw a hook with his left or his right, he's squared up and he's going from the waist. It's an arm punch, and he can't even see what he's doing. He caught on that uppercut. Bam! Slap him. One punch. You understand what I'm saying? Now, does that make Pacquiao a bum? No. What I'm saying, I'm watching him. And he didn't want to fight Floyd. He didn't want to take the blood test or nothing. When he got knocked out by Marquez, man, every time you seen that, I went to fight Floyd. I can beat Floyd Mayweather easily. I can beat Floyd. Oh, now you want to fight him. He didn't want that money to be off the table. So he had that fight with Brandon Rios, and Manny Pacquiao was back, and the fight was back on. In case in point, it took 3 years for that fight to happen. The difference, though, they were in the same weight class. And this is why, too, I feel like it's a waste of time for me to sit up here and be arguing back and forth and debating and listening to people talk about who's better between them, because let's just be real. It's not going to, as a fight, it's not going to happen. Then people start digging up dirt and just saying a bunch of bullshit. And the conversation starts out with Claressa versus Baumgartner. All of a sudden they talking about Papoose and Remy Ma. And Papoose' daughter with Remy Ma. And Remy Ma said this about Claressa. And then it's like, okay. See, this is what I don't like about people who do things underhanded and sneaky. They're not trustworthy. So no, I don't know you personally to say you did something to me, but I don't trust you. And when I know that you have those characteristics, it's like, how do you make excuses for this? How do you act like you don't see it? But Claressa always talking shit and she always like, man, we live in a society where people think they can say what they want. Now you start punching motherfuckers in their mouth, they'll shut the fuck up. And the whole thing is, when it comes to all of them, Katie Taylor, the only one that doesn't like try to talk any shit. But I didn't heard, and here's the thing. I've heard Claressa and Michaela Mayer say they were friends and all that. They were cool. But even Michaela Mayer tried to do her little sneak dishes. And this is my point. Claressa get wind of it. Then the interviewer bring those people up. And she say what she gonna say. So what she called them motherfuckers bums. They all got losses. They do got losses. And they talking like they undefeated. And they keep using her name as clout. And you know what? For Claressa to not go to 154, like I said before, I don't think she should. For what? Why should she go to 154? Just so the possibility of a fight happening, and then she's weight drained if she does lose. Well, she shouldn't have went to 154. That's all you idiots would say. With a smile on your face because you're happy that she lost. You guys that have skin like me have a racist inside, man. You're a racist motherfucker inside because you hate your own people. I just want to bring this to everybody's attention because I keep hearing people talk about numbers, but nobody really talks about the numbers. Alicia Baumgartner, 6-time champion. Katie Taylor, 10-time champion. Amanda Serrano, 10-time champion. Claressa Shields, 21-time champion. Alicia Baumgartner, 1 weight class. Katie Taylor did it in 2 weight classes. Amanda did it in 7 weight classes. Claressa did it in 5. And she's still undefeated. And it also means, especially when you have double the fights, she did what she did in a far quicker time than the rest of them. And mind you, Claressa and Alicia are like the same age. Alicia might be a year older or something like that, but they're like 31, 32. They're like the same age. But this is what I'm saying. All this talking and comparing. You're not on her level. They know they're not on her level. That's why they talk, and that's why they use her name. It's not comparable. Not on paper and the eye test. I know they couldn't fuck with Claressa. The best thing Amanda got going against Claressa is her doing it in 7 weight classes as opposed to Claressa's 5. And y'all know, just like I know, don't nobody even know these women in these smaller weight classes. And let's just be real, man. Like, for example, I like Ramla Ali as a fighter. And I remember when the talk about her, Ebony Bridges, was like, when it came up and people, man, fucking Ramla Ali ain't fucking with Ebony. And then when Ramla got beat, oh, and she the one that's supposed to beat Ebony, and then Ebony went and got destroyed by that Asian chick. Remember that? Then all of a sudden everybody was like, oh. And then I don't even hear Ramla Ali's name anymore. So it's one of these things. I wanted to see that fight happen. That fight didn't happen. Just like in men's boxing, this bantamweights and flyweights and strawweights, people don't even know who the hell these people are. They don't even know these fighters. So it doesn't matter. Like I said, the accomplishments are there. You can't take them away. But I'm saying the eye test shows me, Claressa will smoke all 3 of them motherfucking women. All of them. Only 2 ways I see Claressa losing, in all honesty. 3 ways. 1, if she come in the ring unprepared. 2, Father Time. Or 3, a fighter close their fucking eyes and just land a lucky punch. Because as long as she's on top of her game and sharp and focused and hungry, she's better, way better than everybody out there. And these women know it. This is why it's so much hate. If Claressa was to retire right now, for somebody to catch her record and do what she's done, and it's not just, you know what, it's not even just winning. Because you can win titles, but I'm watching you fight and I'm like, that person, in my opinion, is not as good as that person. So you can be undisputed. Like example, Terrence Crawford is 2-time undisputed. And I think Crawford's a good fighter. In my opinion, Floyd would fuck him up. Floyd would outbox him. Floyd would bait him in. He would beat. See, Crawford is not better than Floyd at nothing. And he's not faster than Floyd. What Crawford would have to do with Floyd is what Crawford don't do enough of. He would have to try. And it's not going to work. Look, Floyd is just better than him overall. Boy, he knocked people out. So what? Floyd got knockouts too, but so what? You can't outthink Floyd. He's not better than Floyd. Let me explain something to you. Anytime I see a player, a fighter, or whatever, if I think somebody's better than that person, I would say it. I'm not a fan of anybody's. I have nothing to lose. You hear me all the time say, I don't want to see anybody beat Anthony Joshua, right? And you hear me when I critique AJ. So isn't that common sense to you? It's not about favoritism with no fighter. I can't sit here and tell you Anthony Joshua is the best heavyweight out there. I don't think he is. I don't think Usyk is either. And I don't think Tyson Fury is. Usyk once was. But after that last performance, does that look like the best heavyweight to you? Now, who can I say it is? I don't know. But looking at Moses Otama, he looks like that guy. If Moses fought AJ, who would I want to win? AJ. Do I think he would after what I've seen of him lately? No. No. So I'm going to sit here like you guys, rah, AJ, knowing damn well inside I don't see how he's going to beat Moses. I don't see it. Because what AJ needs in here, and for him to get dropped like he did by them weak-ass punches against that guy, at least that uppercut, I know he didn't see it coming. But what I'm saying, you don't think Moses Otama saw that? You don't think Moses is studying AJ? And AJ's probably not studying Moses. Now, if they fought, then he'd have to study him, right? I think, like people talking about Daniel Dubois would be a nightmare for Moses. Nah, I think Moses knocks out Daniel Dubois as well. Remember when he came to Fabio Wortley, what did I say? I don't know. And the reason is because Fabio has been quiet, like as far as who he beat, his level of competition. And I'm looking at him, I'm looking at Dubois, and it's like, I don't really know. Because people like him and Fraser Clark, and I've seen them like as good British level fighters. I've never seen Fabio as like world class level. You understand what I'm saying? Never. At least with Dubois, he's been in there with better competition. And as long as he doesn't quit or get careless, but like I said, I didn't know how to call that one because I didn't know what to expect from Dubois. And I also didn't know, what to expect from Fabio because even him beating Joseph Parker, I said Joseph Parker, because of how he was winning fights, he should have been had his championship match. And like I said, if he went in and got knocked out in round 1, so what? The fight should still happen. So when he lost to Fabio, that didn't make me look at Fabio like, oh, Fabio was that dude. I looked at it like it was a good win. You understand what I'm saying? But I don't know. Now we got to see you do it consistently as you're stepping up. But Joseph Parker's battle tested. He's been through a lot. You talking about wear and tear, same way. Now, since Fabio has lost to Parker, he's been quiet again. You see, so I don't know. And this is what I'm saying. So let's say his next opponent, whoever it may be. Like if you listen to him, he's talking like he's guiding and giving advice to Otama. So you take his confidence as if he's better than Otama. And I said, no, Otama will knock Fabio out. Now, I would, listen. If Otama fought Dubois, I'm going with Otama. I think Otama hurts all of them. Now, would I want him to beat AJ? No. But I just think AJ had his time. And as long as he stays away from Atama, because like, just say, example, if AJ, let's say if punch resistance wasn't his problem, let's just say, like I said, he got caught the uppercut and he didn't see it coming. But let's just say if AJ is in position where, okay, he can take a big shot still. We didn't see in that last fight. So that means going into the next fight with whoever it may be, if a guy of that caliber can drop him, not once but twice, what the fuck do you think Moses, why would we think Moses couldn't? It's like when people say, it's funny, Tyson would have knocked Ali out. Tyson, wait a minute. The same Mike Tyson, well, you know, everybody, the person that gave him problems was Joe Frazier, you know, who fight just like, even Michael John White said that bullshit. I'm like, Frazier and Tyson are two different animals. Similar in the sense that they both come forward and try to knock you out. Two different styles. What makes you think Tyson beats Joe? What makes you think Tyson beats Norton and Foreman? You can assume, but we can't prove that. And to be honest with you, I think people overrate Mike when it comes to him versus people like that. They think based on the guys that they see him knock out. But wait, notice how nobody never says, well, Quick Tillers copies Muhammad Ali, and they went the distance. And most people think Quick Tillers won that fight. And Quick Tillers couldn't lace Ali's fucking boots. And this was a prime Mike Tyson. Oh, yeah, this was a prime under 25-year-old Mike Tyson. This is why people always talk that prime shit. We know this, right? But they always say that. The same Mike Tyson that went the distance with Bone Crusher, the same Mike, are we talking about the same dude? So you telling me that Ali can't go the distance with Mike Tyson, but Quick Tillers can? And fucking Bone Crusher Smith can? Are you shitting me? The same Mike Tyson who's 4 years younger than Holyfield that got beat so bad, and in a rematch, he saw the same thing start to happen and bit the man. And remember, all of this talk that people are doing, it's always before the fact they're so confident, but after the results come, excuses. So it's easy to run your mouth and talk that shit, but people don't think about it like that. That's the reality. Oh, let's bring up Joe. Man, who says Tyson beats Joe? You can say what you want, but anybody can fucking pick a person to say this person would have beat this person. But again, then even Michael John White talked about how big Mike is. Mike was 215. What the fuck is Michael John White talking about? Prime Mike Tyson was 215 pounds. 215. I don't know what the hell these people be talking about. You go back and look at Mike Tyson's weight back in the day. Yeah. He was too big. Anthony Joshua said he think Mike Tyson would have been too big. He think Ali was just too small. I'm like, AJ, what the fuck are you? One of the things Michael John White said was people don't realize how physically big Muhammad Ali was. Okay. So you got two different people saying two different, completely different things, but both coming to the same outcome. You understand? People can talk and say things, but it's not what I'm about. That's why I said I go by the eye test, man. Eye test shows me Claressa Shields reigns supreme over any female in boxing now and before. What the future holds, well, that's something else. And I don't even care about the past. I'm only focused on the here and now. But I've never seen a fighter better. I've never seen a female fighter better than Shields. Not Layla, not Christy Martin, not Ann Wolfe, not Franchon, not Savannah Marshall, not Katie, not Amanda, not Alicia. None of them. None of them. And that's why they want to shake her confidence. That's why they want to get under her skin and try to get to, they want her to lose focus. She knows better than that. Keep beating these heifers' asses. That's all. And while they're talking, you're walking. You're making moves while they're faking moves. Plain and simple. That's all I got for you guys. Catch you guys on the next video.